He's pretty much like every other director you work with. Then,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I don't know what's more disturbing, that image or the one of you charming mayors with ukuleles. I think that might be there too. But talk about from your guys' perspective. I mean, you've been able to carve out. They talked about how hard it is to get this movie made. You've been able to carve out careers where you've done some bigger budget movies, but you've also been able to do these kind of fiercely independent films, and I imagine those are the more rewarding ones. Talk a little bit about your experience doing that, and I gather it's all worth it in the end, even though you have to, literally, I guess, pick up some poop along the way. But how does that? I mean, does it make you want to kind of continue doing these kinds of movies, or how does it make you think about your career, as a whole? Either one, Shell.
I just told a poop story.
It can't be worse than
No, I
that.
can't top it. I don't know where to go from here. I guess I don't think of it as a career, basically. I don't think of it as something to build or capital. I just make the choices that are in front of me, and somebody gave me this great piece of advice once, and I was making these lists and really trying to weigh this important decision, and I was driving my friends crazy for 2 weeks about, well, here's the pros and here's the cons and blah 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 and blah blah blah, and I was going to bed with it every night on my mind, and it was just I was obsessing, and somebody finally said, stop, you're your own worst enemy right now. What does your heart yearn for? Oh, that means now that's just how I approach everything, and it's so simple, and it's instantaneous.
And then, Derek, from your perspective, in terms of shooting a movie this way, in terms of your future, how much do you is this just the way you talked about your documentary background? Do you want to continue making movies?
I mean, every film will be different, but yeah, I mean, next
3D,
one.
Blue Valentine 3D?
No. There is talks of a 3D movie. Very intimate, dramatic 3D movie with motorcycles. And but anyway, yeah, I mean every process is different, and the process has to inform the content and the story and the characters, and so every process will be different. Just like the process to shoot the past of Blue Valentine was different from the process to shoot the present. I wrote a manifesto back in 2002 that laid out the rules of engagement for how I would shoot this film. Just because I had nothing to do, I just had to come up with a way to do it. And just so for every film, for every character, for every story, there's a different way to approach it, and yes, process is key. And the thing is, one of the biggest struggles is, so I had this process built that I wanted to do for this film, and in the American Hollywood union system, it's the most difficult thing to do. You have to there's a certain way in which you're supposed to make a movie, and it's an incredible battle to not do it that way, and you're it's constantly fighting, and I was so fortunate to have 3 producers that supported that vision throughout, and they weren't just yes men either. They were strong creative collaborators, and that just believed in this process that would be different than other processes. And it's also difficult in America because I had to sign, before I made this film, sign away my moral rights as an artist, which you have to do, and which is just terrible, but I had 3 strong producers that always backed up the fact that
as difficult as it is,
you're
still able to carve out this freedom that you never would if you were making the movie for a studio. I mean, there's no way around it.
Exactly. So, but with more money comes more responsibility. So it's but it's also wasteful. Because I do a lot of commercials too, and there's just money just gets thrown away on things. So I actually like making the smaller film because you have more freedom because there's less responsibility, less sliced kiwi on the set.
And with the sliced kiwi image, I'll turn it over for questions in the audience. Yes, over there. We'll have a roving mic if you want to wait a second.
I have a question, but first, what do you mean by sign away your moral rights?
I don't know. I had to sign something that says I sign away my moral rights as an artist.
And
what am I going to do? Am I going to make the movie or not? So I just, I had this strong support of the producers. But if you make a movie, from a financier, they give you this piece of paper that says you have no moral rights as an artist, and I don't think that happens in every place.
Do you have immoral rights?
Yeah, immoral. Yeah. So anyway, but fortunately throughout the whole process, and even now with working with the Weinstein Company, they've supported the personal vision, and the personal process, and I just think there should be more of that, coming out of American film,